I want to give my own personal experience on how the corn has ruined my life. And I never fully explained how it has impacted my life in a negative way. So I want to use this time to really tell y'all how the pornographic content has affected my life. Overall, man, when you are a heavy porn addict, you just lose confidence in yourself. And porn stripped away of my confidence. It stripped away my confidence as a man. It brought a lot of insecurities to my life. And it has made me feel weaker. It has impacted how I make decisions. It has caused me to lose focus within a couple of minutes. I've always had a hard time focusing, staying concentrated on one thing at a time. I didn't have a clear mind. So it felt like my brain was cluttered all the time. My brain was foggy. So it was really hard and difficult to really focus on anything meaningful during the years of my addiction. And to just kind of go back to the confidence part, I mentioned in the other video that I had trouble talking to women, right? I had trouble attracting women because I did not have the confidence in myself to attract them. And it had a way of making me feel awkward around women. And you see, women can pick up on that. They can pick up on that awkward energy. You may think that they can't, but they definitely can pick it up. They can definitely sense it when a man lacks confidence in himself. And not having confidence, even when you're a young teenager, it's not a good feeling at all. It sucked. To be quite honest with you, it sucked to not have confidence at all. Because I wanted to get out there, I wanted to play sports. I wanted to be more socially involved. I wanted to utilize all of my energy on things that would benefit my life, that would be meaningful, to be, to create exciting connections in my life. And I felt like I was missing out on so much in my teen years because of this addiction. I had more of a fear of missing out syndrome because of porn. Porn created that syndrome of fear of missing out. Because of that, I didn't go to my prom. I didn't get to mingle with the women. None of the women in my high school liked me at all. They were going after, the tall dudes that were more muscular, more athletic, that that looked like they could pull women. You know, the guys that were in the streets after school, you know what I'm saying? Or in all the cliques, all the groups, the most popular, they were getting all the women, the athletes. And I wasn't getting none. And I was just using pornography to fill that void. To get something that I wasn't getting in my real life. But to get what I wanted in my real life, I had to strip away the addiction. I had to turn off the porn. But you see, at that time, around ages from 15 to 23, I wasn't aware that I had to erase all that from my life in order to attract new things into my life. That was real, that was exciting, that was gonna benefit me. I wasn't smart enough to what was out there for me had I just quit. And I'm realizing it now, especially the past couple years. I'm realizing it. Like, I've missed out on so much. I have blocked a lot of my blessings. Man, let me tell you, I blocked so many of my blessings just from being an addict. Think about that. You blocked all your blessings because of one addiction. You know, I'm in my late 20s. I'm about to be 30 in a couple years. I don't have time to block my blessings. I don't. You see, maybe when I was in my teen years, in my early 20s, yeah, I had the time to do that and to make mistakes, to F up, to be a bot, to be a NPC, the Matrix, because that's what I was. I was being an NPC in the Matrix. I was lost, confused, no guidance, no direction. You know, corn turned me into an incel. It turned me borderline homosexual. It turned me into a loser. It turned me into, you know, a secretive pervert. It turned me into so many things that were negative. It made me depressed. Depression, man, was at an all-time high in my life. The anxiety was through the roof. My social life sucked. I had no social life. None. And even if I did happen to have friends here and there, I did not know how to maintain those friendships. I was not on semen retention at that time at all. I wasn't. I didn't know how to keep friends. I didn't know how to attract people into my life, women into my life. I was just out of luck, man. So I was stuck in this isolation. Not in a good way. Not in a productive way, but in a very depressive fashion. Isolation completely sucked. It almost ruined me. It hurt me every day to know that I was alone. And I didn't know what to do to really fix the problem. I didn't think that corn was the issue in my life. I didn't think that was the main root. I thought it was something else, but I wasn't willing. Or I should say, I didn't have the wherewithal to really dig down deep and really analyze and identify what the issues were in my life, what happened when I was a child, to talk about it and to express the trauma that I went through in my life. I wasn't able to talk about it, let alone solve it. Wasn't able to decipher what made me the way I am, what made me turn to the pornographic content. I was just blindly consuming it every day. Every day. Didn't think anything of it. Thought it was normal. Thought that this was the norm for my life. That what I was doing was perfectly fine. Until I had to get that wake-up call from God, from the Lord. Once I got that wake-up call, only then did I realize what I was doing was an abomination of Christ. What I was doing, what I was watching was sinful. It was sinful, disgusting, perverted, nasty. I was completely in the wrong. Watching a lot of pornographic content made me unhealthy, physically and mentally, spiritually and emotionally. It made me fat. I was gaining weight, a lot of weight. And there have been times where I'd just be on the computer, on the phone, hours and hours and hours and hours. Where that's pretty much almost my entire day. And there's a lot of shame and guilt that comes with this addiction. More than drugs, more than alcohol, more than weed. I don't care what anybody says. The biggest form of shame and guilt is through porn addiction. So I completely ruined my life in those prime years. Yeah, you know what? Scratch that. I shouldn't say prime years. It's more so the youthful years of my life. I guess the most exciting, pivotal years of my life, which were my teenage years. That was the part of my life that I ruined. In my teenage years, I had no foundation. So I went into my 20s fucked up. I went into my 20s unprepared. I went into my 20s not knowing anything. I went into my 20s with this addiction. I went into my 20s being depressed, not having any confidence in myself, and still not having any direction, not knowing my purpose in life, barely having any money in my name, scraping by, making $9 an hour at a dead-end job. I believed that at that point there was no hope. That there was no hope for me. And that's what porn did. It made me realize, subconsciously, that there was no hope. There was no way out. There's a lot of wrong that porn did to my life that I wish I can take back, that I wish I can go back in a time machine and just redo everything and really fix a lot of things that I could have fixed, that I could have done better in my life. But that's not how life works. No, that's not how life works. Life doesn't work that way to where you can just go back in time and try and redo everything that you did wrong. Once you submitted that test, there is no changing the answers. There is no going back to the true and false and, putting down true instead of false. Once you put down the false answer, it remains. That's your answer. You can't go back and change anything. So, I'm making this video to tell you guys and to share my experience of how porn ruined my life. And I think the biggest thing was confidence. A lack of confidence in my life. And when you're a man that's not confident, you're a young man that's not confident, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. Because at your youngest, you should be your most confident. Right? You should be talking to girls. You should be experimenting a lot around that age. I didn't have the confidence to get in the bedroom with a woman because I know that my banana downstairs was not working, right? It wasn't working because I was getting my pleasure through porn, causing ED, sexual ED, erectile dysfunction. So it was hard for me to get hard the natural way. And that is a huge problem for any man to go through. But at the end of the day, guys, hopefully whoever is watching, you learn from my experience and that you take something from this video and you let it motivate you in your journey to quit pornography. Because I know that there's a lot of guys that have their stories, their experiences, what this addiction has done to their life. And I'm sure y'all will share in the comments section. But it definitely has ruined my life in many, many ways. I don't even think I told everything about how it ruined my life. But I think I told the majority of how it ruined my life. The majority of it. With that being said, thank you all for watching. God bless. This is a retention lifestyle channel. Like the video for the algorithm, and I'm out. Peace.